Welcome back to another video. I haven't been posting for a while. I've been kind of sort of on vacation, I guess you could say, even if one could argue that you can't be on vacation if you don't have a job to be on vacation from. But I've also been, just moved from the house to an apartment. So now I'm in my new place, getting organized. I have like one last thing to do, and the hall is being repainted, and I'm also having like a closet built in because it has a really strange shape and it's really hard to find something on the market, like a product that I can just put there. So, but after that, I'm pretty much settled in. I have been wearing lots of perfume. I've acquired a few more perfumes, even though I said I wouldn't. And I'll tell you a little bit about those, and also my scent of the day, which happens to be one of them. Okay, so why don't we start there? This fragrance was actually gifted to me, not by the brand. I don't accept any free bottles. That's what I mean when I call myself the honest perfume reviewer, because I have the opinion that it's really hard, I would say impossible, to be completely honest if someone has given you the bottle. But this particular fragrance was given to me by a friend, and she knew that I really loved the fragrance. So I just want to be completely transparent that I think there's a big difference in being gifted something as a friend and if it's given to you from the brand, maybe with, like hidden expectations that you might say something positive, or at least maybe not go out and spread like negative things about it. But this fragrance, Funky Cherry from Musicology, when she got this fragrance, it was not yet launched, so it was actually given to her, I think, from the brand when she was in Milan at Essence. And for some reason, she's given up on it. Nor she or her husband like this fragrance, and I'm not quite sure why. It's really, really strong, and I'm not really a cherry kind of person, but I really like this fragrance. I put this fragrance on at like 7 this morning, and now it's 11:23. And I mean, at first you get a blast of like fruitiness of the cherry for sure. Like it's a little bit shampoo-like in the opening and kind of like fresh. There's lots of top notes. I think there's like bergamot. I think it has peony. But just until like a week back, there was no information about this fragrance on the market. Now I have seen that Jovoy has started to sell this fragrance. It retails for 150 euros for 50 ml, and this is that 50 ml size. I think they only come in this size, and it's like a new line from the brand. Natalie Lorson is the person kind of behind this brand. I think she's the perfumer also for the fragrances. It says to stay on the scene here. And I think that there's one more in this series. There are only 2, I think, that are out. There might be more, like, ready to be launched. But then I thought this might have oud in it, because I've been wearing this fragrance for a while. I had a sample prior to this, and I thought, I compared a little bit to Fragrance du Bois Sirène, which is a cherry and oud fragrance, because this has a lot of depth. Like once that really shampoo-y top kind of settles into the skin, other things start to come out. And this one has ambrette. It has a pretty heavy base. And it says it has cistus. I think cistus, labdanum. It's such as another word for labdanum. And labdanum has a quite heavy and kind of smoky quality, like a resin. It's a resin, and it has patchouli. Maybe that's why I like it so much, but it also comes off powdery, and I think that has to do with the mid notes. I think it's violet and ambrette. I think it's violet. I think violet is what gives it this powdery quality. It is really, really satisfying. I'm really enjoying this fragrance. It has an incredible sillage, lasting power. It's an extrait. It might be a little hard to... I mean, Clara even went as far as to say that you have to spray this outside. You cannot spray it like in my apartment because it totally takes over. I don't find it that strong. It's not like Guidance. It's not like some of these really beast mode fragrances, not to me anyway, but it is definitely strong. And the fruitiness does kind of remain, but not in a way that... It's not a gourmand to me at all. It's more of it's a resinous fragrance. It also has like ambery woods, I think, was listed as well. And resin, like resins, I think, was listed. Yeah, I'm really happy with this fragrance. I am going to wear it and enjoy it for sure. Very happy about that. Then, this is a fragrance I also talked about on my channel before. It's called the Majestic Vetiver, and it's from Alexandre J. And they used to have it in my local niche perfumery, and I've tried it multiple times, and it's quite, it retails for about the same price as this one, around 150 euros. But it also is actually, they have it at Jovoy. They no longer have it in Sweden in store. I think maybe the fact that it wasn't selling is that Swedish people don't gravitate toward this kind of presentation. I think it's kind of a little bit off-putting. It's called the Art Deco Collection, I think. This one immediately reminded me of Sunshine Man from Amouage, although Sunshine Man has no vetiver listed, and this one has no lavender listed, because I find Sunshine Man to be kind of a sweet lavender, or lavender combined, you know, with other notes that are sort of sweetish, like tonka, brandy, etc. This one, okay, so the reason I bought this is because someone contacted me and was going to the States and had found this at a discounter and was going to pick it up on his trip. And he said that, you know, if I take 30 mil, I'll give you the 70 mil, remaining 70 mil for a certain price, like $60 or something, like really cheap, $60 or $70. And I just couldn't resist that offer. So now I have this one. It's not a straight up vetiver. It has kind of a sweet touch to it. It has a powdery feeling. It has a little bit maybe of a, now I can't remember the notes, but it does have some aromatics in the top, I think. Maybe vanilla in the base. If it's not listed, it's still sort of there. Something kind of sweet. Maybe it's tonka. Maybe it's a real easy wear. It's much, much lighter than Sunshine Man, much more wearable. And Sunshine Man is kind of like, I'm working my way through a decant, and I was so sure I wanted a bottle because it's so unique. But now I don't find it as unique anymore, because it does remind of Eau Noire from Dior. And people have also said that this one does remind of Eau Noire. Eau Noire. Eau Noire, I should say. I mean, I do know how to pronounce French. I'm not really American. I'm Swedish, but I'm half American. But I've grown up here. I speak Swedish all day long. It's a really nice wearable vetiver. Maybe leans a little bit masculine, but it's very close to the, I think, unisex fence. I don't like to really divide perfumes into masculine and feminine, but it does give a little information. Like if things that are marketed towards women, maybe people have an idea about what that is, and this would typically be more marketed, I think, towards men more. The Majestic Vetiver, really, really nice. Then I've also bought, I might have talked about this before, but Clair de Musc from Serge Lutens. I found this on an app called Vinted. If you're European, you might be able to buy from there. It's not like eBay. There's no auction function, but it's like a secondhand platform. And this particular bottle came from Poland, and it was unopened, and I paid like $80 for it, or 80 euro. Oh, it seems to be leaking. But one good thing about this one is that you can actually unscrew it like this, and then you can use like one of these things to just kind of suck up the juice and fill a decant if I would like to share it. This is 100 ml, really big bottle. It's an unbelievably good musky, well, of course, the name Clair de Musc, laundry-like iris fragrance. And everybody loves this fragrance that I've actually they've been exposed to it, and I've gotten compliments for it. And it's a perfect like going dancing fragrance, going to the gym. You don't want to offend anybody. You don't want to take any risks of like someone not liking your perfume. Then this would be a perfect buy, or a perfect choice. Another fragrance that I bought last summer that I've really been enjoying is this one, Catharsis, by the Italian brand Coreterno. I'm trying to pronounce it in Italian. I have no idea if I'm doing the right thing, but this is, I would also say, maybe a little bit masculine leaning. It has like leather and oud, and it has a hint of whiskey. Not too much, but it's just like barely there. And then there's a big dose of powder, like it's powdery. And it's also like a really easy grab. Not quite maybe as easy as Serge Lutens' Clair de Musc, or the Vetiver one. Well, this one has more of a, this is more perfumey, I think, than the Vetiver one. It's like It's super satisfying. I'm very happy with it. The only thing bad about it is that it only comes in 100 ml, which I think is really, really sucks. And the sprayer isn't great on it. It's kind of one of those, I can maybe show you here. It's just not a great sprayer. I mean, great sprayers are like Dior exclusives. They're like the perfect sprayers, or Fragrance du Bois. They have great sprayers. These sprayers really suck. It's hard to decant from this bottle. Anyway, that was what I have been wearing today and lately. And then I'll just tell you a little bit about my discovery set from Zoologist that I bought last summer. One of them I've already sold. But this particular set came with 5 fragrances. I didn't get to choose them. You can, I think, on the Canadian website, go in and choose the 5 that you want, but I don't think they sell them separately. So my idea, I know this brand is popular, and I thought I'm just going to, sell the ones I don't want, and I'll get my money back. But that has sadly not been the case, because the ones I want to get rid of are maybe not the most popular ones. Camel, I thought someone would grab for a retail price, which is about $50 each. Not cheap, but they're popular. This was a little bit too zoo-ish for me. It's a little animalic. It's kind of like dry spices. The closest thing that I could think of was L'air de Desert Marocain from Andy Tower. I just don't think I'll wear it. It's pleasant. It's not bad. I don't think it's too zoo-ish. But the first time I tried it, I thought it was a little bit much like, standing at the zoo looking at the camels. So I think they've really nailed the kind of profile and matched it to the name very well. Then there's Bee. That was the whole reason I got this particular set. It's a really nice kind of waxy bee pollen type fragrance. I don't know what they call this special. The main ingredient here is that liquid that they feed the queen bee and also to the larvae, like in their first days of life, to get kind of a kickstart in life. If you don't like honey, you won't like this fragrance, but this is just not just straight up honey. It's not like Slow Dive from Hiram Green. It's fluffier, it's airier, it has mimosa. So if you're fond of mimosa, you might like this, but definitely heavy on the honey. It works really well in the summer. I've worn this now quite a few times. Very much enjoy it. Well, is a keeper. The other one I decided to keep is Moth, which is kind of a little bit of a conceptual fragrance. Like, it's not super perfumey. It more reminds of like an old attic and like the wood smells that you might find there, like the smell of old books and paper, maybe some spices, and has a little bit of like an incensey feeling to it. It's very pleasant. I've only worn it, I've given it a full wearing like once, but I do like it, and I don't think I'll sell it. Maybe eventually I will sell it. It's nothing that I think I'll wear like a lot. That's Moth. And then here comes the worst of them all. This is called Hyrax, and I have never heard the word Hyrax before. But if you look at it looks like a little rodent. It's like a little mouse kind of animal, maybe a little bit bigger. I'm not quite sure what kind of animal this is, but the fragrance itself, the first time you spray it, it's like, it's not that bad. Like there's maybe black pepper and incense or something. Oh, this is an incense fragrance. Okay. But then as it settles down, it gets kind of worse. Like other notes start to come to the surface, and it's very animalic. I think this one has like both castoreum and civet, maybe oud, maybe leather. It's really, really, there was a group of us who were trying perfumes here like a month ago or a few weeks ago, and we all four of us really dislike this fragrance. And one of my friends went as far as to say that it smells like the breath of a person who's dying. And I think, of course, and she meant it literally because she had been around a dying person. I think it depends on, what you're dying from. I know that certain like cancers can give you a special smell, but my husband died of cancer and he had like no smell at all by the end of his life, which was really sad. I didn't know that like at the closer he got to his death, the less of a smell he gave off, like from his breath, but mostly like from his skin. I didn't recognize his smell, because I happen to believe that we do choose our partners from a olfactory perspective. Like there's something that triggers attraction, something that makes us feel at home. He had a very specific smell. But when he got sick, and I don't know if it's the medicines that kill the hormones, or if it's just kind of like the aging process, because he kind of became more and more like an old man toward the end of his life, and he was only 45 years old. But I think I found this, like teenagers, young people give off a stronger smell than older people. And I think it has to do with the hormones. I don't know about this for sure. But so take this thing with the breath of a dying person with a grain of salt. But it is a little bit animalic. It's not that bad, like right off the top like this, but it is not good. I know that I tried to like sort of spray over it with Blanche Bette the few times I've had it on my skin, and I don't think I'll ever spray this on my skin again because it is a very challenging fragrance. Don't like it at all. Anyway, I've just moved in here, and I've been trying to find like a good where to store my fragrances. And right now I'm just going to turn the computer a little bit. You see this is kind of our extra TV room. Down there I have my collection. That's like my full bottle collection. And then I have a few in my room that I've taken out because I don't want to have to crawl around on the floor and kind of, push my arm way behind like bottles in a row to spray the perfume for the week. So maybe I'm going to start this tray thing. Like I'll take out maybe 7-8 bottles for the week, and then I can go there if I change my mind. And I have my decants I have in my bedroom, so they're a little bit more accessible. So my plan is to move them to another place, maybe my closet where they can hang. Now that I can put them all kind of below hanging clothes, which is not either ideal, but I don't want them out in the sunlight, of course. So it's a little hard. And then I find it also hard to categorize the fragrances. Like I have now semi-gourmands in one row, and I have freshies in another row, and then I have florals. But the florals are also so different. Like some are mimosa, some are rose, some are like a mixture. There's a tuberose in there. Some of them could almost be placed among ambers, because ambers is another like category with Middle Eastern style perfumes. Some are more like maybe oud based, some are tonka based, some are more like resinous, or a mixture of all those. Incensey. I put Unda Maris in that category from Filippo Sorcinelli, although it's like it could be a category of its own, like incense fragrances, had I had enough of that category. Then I have like Iris, which is a flower and could be among the florals, but I have a whole row of them. I have like 10 iris bottles of iris-based fragrances. And then I have a patchouli. I have like 5 or 6 patchouli fragrances that have their own kind of section in my collection. So it's just fun. It's just like I do feel like a kid playing with my toys. I can just sit and organize the stuff, and it's just funny. But I really have to kind of slam on the brakes now when it comes to acquiring more fragrance. I think it's a little bit hard because now since I sold the house, also I've have a better economy. I can afford fragrance. I can get what I want, but I don't want to own a huge collection. So I don't know. I'd really like a bottle of Moon Bloom. I'm not a real tuberose person, but Moon Bloom from Hiram Green is incredible. I have a discovery set from them, so those samples are like little bottles that I'm just going to wear. I like almost every one of them. There's one that I don't like, and the one that I don't like is called, it's not Arcadia. It's the one with is carnation based. God, I forget the name. And it's not Trist, because I like Trist a lot. Now I've forgotten the name, what it's called. Filter, I think. Filter, with a PH in the beginning. I think it's called. And the reason I've been hesitating on Moon Bloom is that I have this carnal flower from Frederick Malle. I'm just going to spray this now and see. I very rarely wear this, but I have kind of an, I'm thinking that maybe this has evaporated a little bit because I can't remember using this much. Do you find that, and it doesn't really have a top? This really bothers me that there's no top. I'm wondering if it actually does it slowly evaporate. And maybe I should start using this. And I definitely shouldn't go out and buy Moon Bloom before I'm out of the sample. unless I see it for a reduced price. So I think that's a good general rule, to not go out and buy full retail like ever. And especially then you wait. So I'm going to share my best rule for not purchasing so much that I use, and my son also uses it for clothes. And that is, if I feel a desire to buy a fragrance, say now with Moonbloom, then I'll tell myself I can have it, but not today. And then I see if in 2 weeks, do I still have the urge to buy it? If this over time remains a strong desire, then I can buy it. But usually by the 2 weeks, when the 2 weeks are up, then I'm usually on to the next desire. Like now I want something else. I want to get, something from Serge Lutens instead. So, I mean, there's so many things to want. And just wanting to want is, I think this wanting thing is really kind of a spiritual thing that is worth looking at a little bit. Like, what do I hope to acquire? What do I think is going to happen if I have, this bottle in my collection? It hasn't made me happier. I mean, I do enjoy wearing it, but this particular one I'm actually very happy with because it was such a good purchase. It was such a good price. It's such a wearable fragrance. Okay, I'm going to give an example of a perfume that I'm not going to get. I never see it on sale. They only have it in 100 ml bottles, and it's a super, like a seldom use kind of perfume, and it's Frustration from Etat Libre d'Orange, or Eldo for short. That is like a chestnut gourmand. It's an incredible fragrance. I love it a lot. And of course, I would like to have a bottle, maybe. But I have a big decant, and that's enough. I probably will never need a bottle, and it'll just take space, and I'll feel bad about never wearing it because I use it like once every 3 months, if even that. Maybe I'll use it like twice a year. Like in the winter, I'll use it twice maybe, or maybe 3 times a year in the winter, like never in the summer because it's really kind of sweet and heavy and kind of, it's a great fragrance, but it's just, so something like this I think is so much, makes more sense to spend my money on than a fragrance like Frustration. Anyway, okay, I just thought I'd check in. I'm going to check in more often and let you know what's going on. It's just very short about my life right now is that I'm, again, now stuck. I shouldn't tell myself that I'm stuck because, okay, I'm exploring different alternatives. But that's not really true because I'm not really, because I don't know how to do it. I want to work, but I'm not like hungry enough to go out and get it now. What do I want to do? I'm very much of a generalist. I feel like I'm not like super good at anything, which makes it hard for me to find work. And then there's this ageism thing. 56, and like I know that a lot of people my age have been looking for work for over a year and haven't found anything. And I've had kind of like a career behind me, but I would like to get a role that's maybe not like a high managerial position because I don't want to feel locked in, or I don't want to have a super high responsibility. Part of me feels resistance to start a company because if I start employing people, then then I'm an employer, and then I'm in charge of them, and like I know a lot of things that I don't want. And I also don't want to sit in front of a computer all day. I want to be able to move around. That's more who I am. So there's so many things in this. Yeah, I don't know. It's another thing I'd like to share is that yesterday I started filming a video with my phone. And the lighting was pretty bad and my hair looked really bad. I'm not happy with my haircut that I got now. I should not have cut my bangs. And I just felt like I looked so old. And I did one time record a video with my phone, and I couldn't put it out before I had put some kind of like an Instagram kind of filter on it because I was so embarrassed because I look old. It's like but I look like my age, right? And I just want to share that because that sometimes can hold me back because I don't think that I look like a person who has a fragrance channel on YouTube. And I really feel that this is, and the weird thing is I could just, I could really just turn the camera the other way so that you guys can see the fragrances instead. I follow someone called Danielle. I do really recommend her channel. I've never seen her face. I just hear her voice and she shows the bottles. And she's just really structured. I like the things that she shares. It's called the Perfume, her channel is called the Perfume Journal. Go and check her out. I was really like before I started following her, I was really negative to the people who don't show their face because I like to look at someone's face when I'm listening to them, but it works. Like it usually I'm like when I'm listening to a perfume content, I'm maybe doing the dishes or folding clothes or working with things around the house anyway. And all you see is my face. I mean, most people maybe just listen. It's not about what I look like. So I would like to be free of this. I don't want to feel like I have to get all fixed up to make a perfume video. It's just and the fact that they categorize perfume, with beauty, like in stores. If you go to a department store, it's like in the beauty section, although it has nothing to do with beauty. I mean, like with makeup and things like that. So I find this to be a little bit difficult, and I do find myself kind of a slave under makeup and wanting to look in a certain way to be on film. And I know that in some of these videos, my mother-in-law even told me that I have to fix my nails, and I hate having my nails fixed. I fixed them one time because I was going on a date, and I swear I've never felt so handicapped. I couldn't even button my shirt. I couldn't write on the computer. It was just, I felt like it was a huge, it's just not me. It's not who I want to be. Other people can do what they want. It looks great, but I don't want to feel like I can hardly, I want my hands. I want full function in my hands, and I'm just not willing to do it. Oh yeah, and since we spoke last, I've also actually met someone, despite of my not beautiful nails, which is really fun. I'll tell you about that another time. We'll see where this is going. He lives quite far away from here. Like I can get on the train for 3 hours and 25 minutes to get to him. He lives in a smaller Swedish town. We met at a dance event. We're about the same age, but we're pretty different. And but so far so good. We'll see what happens. All right. Okay. I'll just end it right there. Bye-bye.